standing here with Magisk. Your first year as a Vitality player is reaching its end. How has it been?
Well, it's been really good to be part of Team Vitality. It's some great guys, great organization, and amazing fans. So it's been good to be part of the team. They took good care of us in the beginning as well. So yeah, it's been nice. Obviously, we would hope to win a little bit more, but I also think we had to go through a lot of things to develop as a team, and different play styles, and different personalities, and there was a lot of things we had to overcome, but I still think we are in the right direction as a team. Not saying that we couldn't have done maybe perhaps one or more, but the reality is that we have won one tournament, and that's something we should be proud of. We could have left the year without winning anything, and that would have been even worse. So we have to look at the bright side as well.
Yeah, you mentioned this win at the ESL Pro League. But how important was this win to take home this trophy in terms of your overall performance this year?
Well, obviously winning in the EPL was amazing. It was good for the team, it was good for the players, it was good for the organization. So obviously it's always important to bring home trophies. I mean, it gives the trust and the reassurance that you are doing something right, and that's something good, because I think we have been doing a lot of hard work. We have been trying our best, and I still think we're in the right direction as a team. We also got a new, we switched out on Misuta and Spinx, so it's not difficult. It's not easy, making a completely new team, and then in the middle of the season you change a player. So we have a lot of things we had to overcome, and I think we have done quite well. So yeah, I'm happy with that. But obviously, my goal is to become even better, both as an individual, but also as a team.
You talk about these different aspects you had to work on from the very beginning. But do you think that because there was a lot of expectations and beliefs when Vitality made this super team, being part of this big investment, do you think the expectations were a bit too high from the get-go?
No, not when you look at the players and the team that we have. If you look at the team and the players we have, I mean, we should be able to contend for the biggest titles, and we should be able to be one of the best teams in the world. And I think we've shown what our potential is. Like in tournament in Malta, we showed that this is the Vitality you can meet. And obviously that's something we need to find more consistently. And I think that's been our issue this year, is that we haven't been consistent enough, and I think that's been the biggest issue for us, because we have showcased so many times that we can beat all the best teams in the world, and then when we play underdog teams, we kind of somehow don't convert the games and the maps, and that's been our biggest issue, is the consistency, and that's something we need to work on in the next season as well.
Has Spinx, bringing in Spinx, has that helped to find this consistency?
No, not yet. I would say that playing with Lutan is definitely a huge improvement and a big upgrade from what we had before. But I would also say that he's also been, not performing on the same level that he wanted to, and I think it's kind of normal. You go from, his career is so young. He's a young player, and Inns was his first real big team, and he never really tried having like a down period or a bad period. I'm not saying that he's been really bad, but he didn't live up to his own expectations, and I think that's definitely something you could feel on the team as well, that not everyone was living up to their expectations, and I think that's where the issue was, that the consistency in the players has just not been good enough. And I think tactically wise, we're one of the best teams in the world, together with some other teams as well, but our problem has been the individual level, not showing up, and I think that's definitely also just as important, if not even more important, than the tactical side of the game nowadays. So yeah, that's something we need to figure out as a team.
But are you confident that we will see Spinx in the same shape as we saw in the ends here in Vitality?
Yes, I definitely believe that. I think it took some time, and it probably also a little bit longer for him to convert into our systems and figure out what it is we really want from him as a player. And I know Apex, he used a lot of hours to sit down and talk with him, like theory crafting on what he wants to have him do for the team. And I definitely could feel that after all these talks that in practice he's been doing really well and a lot better than he used to. So I definitely think that the confidence for him is coming back. And I mean, he's young, so obviously it's tough to be in these situations, but I also know he is a player that wants to evolve and he wants to improve, and he's never really saying no to stuff without like talking about it, and you know, he takes critique in a good way. So I definitely believe and I know for sure that he will come back to his own level, because he has all the tools to get there.
What has it meant for you personally, bringing in Spinx? You know, in terms of, have you got any new roles or positions or anything like that?
No, so for me, and that was also one of the reasons we picked Lutan, is that because, you know, he was a perfect mix fit for the team. I mean, in terms of CT side and T side, I still play the same things that I used to. So for me, obviously, it gives a little bit more freedom on the T side, because I have more trust in him as a player. So it gives me more freedom, that I don't feel like I have to go out and search duels and go for intro kills and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it didn't really change much. I'm still playing the same CT positions, you know, good old anchor positions. So yeah.
You'll meet Navi in the first round. How do you feel about that matchup?
Well, for me, meeting Navi this year has been, I feel like it's a 50-50. They are really good. I mean, simple is simple. The individuals they have on the team is so strong as well. But I also definitely can feel that it's not the same Navi as last year. They're not in the same level, both as individuals, but also as a team. And I mean, they have their reasonings and the situation they're in. I mean, you can't really blame them. I think they've had a lot of things going against them. So yeah, it's definitely not the same Navi, but you know, the Navi that is playing right now is still the Navi that has Simple, Electronic, Bid, and all these kind of players. You know, they can pop off any day, and individually wise, they're still really, really good. So yeah, it's a tough one, because I also think on our good days we have shown that we can beat them, and that's definitely something I believe we can do again. But we also have to show the best version of ourselves to be able to beat them, because it is a tough matchup. And yeah, I'm just excited to play.
Have you put some thoughts on the six-man lineup and then bringing in Nibble?
To be honest, I haven't really put too much effort into it or too much energy into it. I think it's them figuring out what they want to do for the next season. I think they're testing out right now, and you know, they're trying to figure out if this guy is good enough for the team or not. And you know, I think they'll keep searching and until they find the right fit. But I definitely think their goal right now is to just figure out what player they want to keep with. I have no idea if they want to continue with the six-man lineup. Perhaps not. I mean, it's only them who know the real answer. But for me, the six-man lineup has its positive things, but also the negative things that, you know, you can't use it at the major, and it's the most important tournament, and not a lot of people is willing to sit on the bench at the biggest tournament of the year. So it's tough to ask people to be a sixth man and telling them that you have to understand that you will never be able to play the major unless you obviously overperform and you do better than the other guy. So there is always this like small fights in between the team, in that sense that you are fighting someone else, and that can be good and bad. But for me right now, when you can't use it at the major, I think it's a tough solution.